Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJTRIP, and welcome to the game. According to me, this is coming to you a day late. Wednesday yesterday was just a day of tiredness from me the night before. I just stayed up longer than I shouldn't have, and uh, but it is coming to you one day late. But I'm here. I am ready to talk about the National Football League. But before that, we got to talk about college and the upcoming college championship Saturday weekend. Let's go ahead and let's jump into that. All right, so now let's talk about the college football rankings that came out on Tuesday. Georgia was 1, Michigan was 2, TCU was 3, Southern California was 4, with Ohio State at 11-1 and 5, and Alabama at 6 at 10-2. So now here are the things that looks like what can happen. If TCU or Southern California lose, looks like Ohio State will jump in. If both lose, I think Ohio State and Alabama would both jump in. Now, and that's something that people are questioning. Would a 10-2 would a 10-2 Alabama jump a 12-1 TCU happens if, let's say, both Southern California and TCU would lose, in the championship week, would they jump that? And that's very tough to say because you would think, Ohio State is going to come up there even if, even if just one just lose, you know. But then, but if both lose, if Southern California and TCU would lose, you would surely take Alabama, you surely take Ohio State, and then there's the whole Alabama thing. Now, Tennessee, who beat Alabama on last second thing, is 7. But I don't know if Tennessee has any shot of jumping Alabama or Ohio State getting in there. Even if all four lost the championship game. If Georgia lost the championship game, if Michigan lost their championship game, if TCU lost theirs, and Southern California lost theirs, I would think that at the very least, Georgia and Michigan are still in it. They would still be in it, and they probably still would be 1 and 2 respectively. And then you would probably have Ohio State 3 and Alabama 4. 4 possibly. Maybe you'd have TCU 4. It's going to be a weird weekend. And for those who like chaos in the college football rankings, that certainly could happen this week if we get one, if not two, losses from Southern California and TCU in their games. Um, so that's going to be very, very interesting. So let's go back to Thanksgiving. Um, Mississippi State beat Mississippi 24-22 in the Egg Bowl. Great stuff there from those guys. Tulane beat Cincinnati on Friday 27-24 and they are going to their championship game. Texas beat Baylor 38-27. NC State and ECU went to overtime. NC State won 30-27. UCLA beat California 35-28. Florida beat Florida State 45-38. All of those were on Friday. Now to get to the Saturday action, and of course you're talking about Michigan and Ohio State. Close in the first half. Michigan broke away in the second half. Michigan wins 45-23. South Carolina beat Clemson the first time in a long time. South Carolina beat Clemson in Clemson 31-30. Amazing game from the South Carolina game class. Clemson going to the ACC championship game, but have no chance at making the college football playoff. Georgia took care of Georgia Tech 37-14 in clean old-fashioned heat. In the Iron Bowl, Alabama took care of Auburn 49-27. Oregon State beat Oregon 38-34, knocking Oregon out of a chance to be in the Pac-12 championship game. UTEP beat University of Texas at San Antonio. No, actually, it was actually reversed. Excuse me. UTSA beat UTEP 34-31. Utah beat Colorado 63-21. They're going to the Pac-12 championship to see if they can handle USC, their second loss of the season. TCU beat Iowa State 62-14. We also know TCU is going on to the Big 12 championship game, take on Kansas State. Penn State beat Michigan State in the Land Grant Trophy game 35-16. LSU beat Texas. No, again, I'm sorry. Texas A&M beat LSU 38-23, knocking LSU out of any chance of having to make the college football playoff because as LSU is facing Georgia in the SEC championship game. UCF beat South Florida 46-39. Tennessee shut out Vanderbilt 56-0, even out their star quarterback Hendon Hooker. USC took on Notre Dame 38-27. Kansas State beat Kansas 47-27, and in the Apple Cup, Washington beat Washington State 51-33. So again, as we look ahead to this upcoming championship weekend, it starts tomorrow. 7:30 p.m. North Texas at UTSA, University of Texas at San Antonio. Don't necessarily know what that is. Is that the Jesus Christ, what is that conference? I don't know what that conference is, but I don't know. But it's a championship game. Pac-12 tomorrow night. Utah USC. Then on Saturday, we got Big 12 championship game. TCU Kansas State. We got the American championship game. American championship game between UCF and Tulane. We've got the SEC championship game between LSU and Georgia. We got the ACC championship game between Clemson and North Carolina, and of course the Big Ten championship game, Purdue at Michigan. There's already been seemingly a couple of bowls have already been announced. About Hummus Bowl, December 16th at 11:30 a.m. Miami of Ohio at the University of Alabama Birmingham, who has just announced that Trent Dilfer next year would be their head coach. Actually, that was a shock. I did not know Trent Dilfer really wanted to be a college coach. He was coaching his high school team. He got into trouble earlier this year, I believe, when he kind of got into a student's face. But he's going to be now the new coach at the University of Alabama Birmingham, so that's something. And the Hawaii Bowl, Middle Tennessee at San Diego State. That is something to be looking forward to as well. So I think all of the other bowls will be announced this coming Sunday when they do the show in the morning that they always do to announce the top four teams in the playoffs. So, and it could be academic if all four teams win. There's going to be no change. So, but that one slip of TCU and or USC could really throw this into flux, and I'm not rooting for it because I want TCU to get in there. Southern California, don't really care about them, but I really want TCU. So, and if Southern California loses, it's probably going to be Ohio State again. So, but we'll see. We'll see what goes down this coming weekend for college football as we head into from the regular season into the bowl/playoff season. Into the NFL, last week again, Thanksgiving. First game, Buffalo Bills took on the Detroit Lions. Came back to win 28-25. Great job in there. Still had some issues with red zone interception from Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen is he's just going into a slump at this point in time. So I don't, but he's going to try to fight himself out of it because as we head down the stretch, he needs to be hitting on all cylinders for this Bills team to get to where they want to. So can make the, he threw another red zone interception. I'm not even sure if that's necessarily his fault, but it just looks bad because he threw another one. So, that was more of a great play by the defender, but and also the fact that he's doing like the read option. I don't think Josh Allen should be really be doing the read option. Just do regular play action pass with Josh Allen. In the second game, the Cowboys beat the Giants 28-20. Giants are kind of in free fall at this point in time, and they've had a hard schedule coming down the rest of the rest of the season. But there are games on the schedule that they can win. They probably should win. And if they get to 10 games, I don't think they're not going to miss the playoffs. I think, they'll be able to get in. So if they can just get 3 more wins, they'll get in the playoffs for sure. And the Vikings beat the Patriots 33-26, coming off of that horrible loss to the Dallas Cowboys the Sunday before, to have come back and then get a victory like this over the Patriots. Kirk Cousins played great in prime time. That's what you wanted to see. So good on them for the Vikings. They needed that. On to Sunday's action. The Dolphins beat the Texans 30-15. They took the gas off the pedal big time because it was 30-0 at the half. But they decided to just take the gas off the pedal, take Tua out of the game after a couple of sacks, and that's what they had. But this could have been a lot worse. This could have been 40-50 to 15, or even maybe 40-50 to 0 if they really wanted it to be. And I think I kind of wish that's what teams would want it to be. So, but it is what it is. The Bengals starting to get hot. They might be getting Jamar Chase back this week. Took it down to Titans 20-16. Play in this game is interesting. A screen pass to Derrick Henry, and he runs all the way down the field, but a Cincinnati defensive back comes in, punches the ball away, and the first-round rookie Treylon Burks recovers it in the end zone for his first touchdown. His first touchdown is a is a fumble recovery. Unreal. But the Bengals beat the Titans 20-16. The Panthers beat the Broncos 23-10. Thing coming out of this game is a sideline screaming match, or maybe whatever it was, between Russell Wilson and a defensive tackle, and they both have downplayed it, but there might be some big things, some unfortunate things coming down to the Broncos. Um, in the Broncos locker room. Sierra apparently had thrown a party for Russell Wilson, and half of the team only came, and there's some, there's some people are taking that as well. Half the team doesn't like Russell Wilson, but so we'll see. I was on a show um, early in the year, and it might even been after the first week of the season. I don't know, but they were talking about how somebody said on their show how Nathaniel Hackett might be, might be one and done, and I just didn't see that. I don't know how you would be one and done, but when you do look at it, there's a combination of how this team has played, how he has coached, because he hasn't done very well in his first year as coaching, and the fact that that he was not hired by this ownership group, and this ownership group could necessarily, say we want a bigger name coach, a bigger time coach in this, in this area. So, but yeah, it could happen. So, and after this loss to the Panthers, I wouldn't not be surprised if it would. The people have been saying that it's not going to happen within the season, but and I think I believe that, but it's could really happen at the end of the year now. I'm kind of expecting it now. The Jets beat the Bears 31-10. A lot of injuries for the Bears. Justin did not play. Trevor Siemian, who did play, but who knew he was going to play, yet strained his oblique muscle, and who knows he will play this week in the Bears game. But Michael White came in for Zach Wilson, played very well, and they're going to stick with him. The Commanders beat the Falcons 19-13. The Browns beat the Buccaneers 23-17 in overtime. I thought that this is going to be a kind of a replay of 2020 when the Buccaneers had their bye and they were going to come off of it and just start steamrolling, and they lose their first game to the Cleveland Browns. Yikes. The Jaguars beat the Ravens 28-27. looked very good from Trevor Lawrence. Had a great game-winning drive to score the touchdown and get the 2-point conversion. Another fourth quarter loss of a lead for the Baltimore Ravens. And Lamar Jackson, I told y'all guys, he's regressed and he's still regressing, and he does not deserve $200 million. He does not deserve a $230 million contract guaranteed. Doesn't deserve 250 guaranteed. He doesn't deserve anything. He deserves 160 at the most. And if he doesn't want that, he can go find it somewhere from some other stupid franchise, to give him that. So the Ravens, you know, they franchise in the next 2 years. You got that franchise in the next 2 years, and if he comes out of this, fine. And if he doesn't, then you know who he is and you know what he's worth. You probably already do. Lamar Jackson doesn't know what he's worth, and that's the thing. The Raiders beat the Seahawks 40-34 in overtime. Josh Jacobs had a big breakaway run in overtime to score the touchdown and end the game. Still, I'm not a big fan. I think that was the only time I've seen him break off a long run for a touchdown, and that's not happening. And the Seahawks are kind of slipping and sliding down as well after their hot start, along with the Giants. So, some very tough things here for the Seahawks. The 49ers are coming on, and they'll keep on rolling. They beat the Saints 13-0. Chargers beat the Cardinals 25-24. Again, talking about a team that probably needs a change, needs a new quarterback, needs a new coach. The Arizona Cardinals. Giving Kyler Murray all that money he did not deserve, but they thought they needed to give it to him. He can't play in a regular offense. He needs this air raid offense to kind of be successful, in my opinion. And you get rid of King Kingsbury, you're gonna have to get rid of the quarterback too, because he can't play in a regular offense. I don't think he can. Chiefs beat the Rams 26-10. Rams had nobody, no Matthew Stafford, no Cooper Kupp, just no effectiveness on offense. Eagles beat the Packers 40-33. Aaron Rodgers went out with another oblique injury with the ribs and everything like that. Jordan Love came in, looked actually kind of pretty good from you know it looked, but he couldn't get the job done on the comeback, and the Eagles won. And the Steelers beat the Colts 24-17. Jeff Saturday maybe has some coaching issues at the end of the game, not taking timeouts or anything like that. That's what you're gonna get when you have someone who's inexperienced and who's in the line of fire and he's not sure what he needs to do. But hey, I still would ride with Jeff Saturday as a head coach. I think he's a coach among men. And now as we look ahead to week 13, tonight the Bills and the Patriots are playing. Should be a very interesting one. It's in New England. Josh Allen needs to get back on track against these Patriots. He's won the last two, the playoff game and then the game against the Patriots in New England. Remember that win the game in Buffalo that they didn't play very well on, get run all over by the Patriots. But let's see what happens tonight. This should be another. I don't know if it should be another blowout, but this should be another win for the Buffalo Bills, as they need to keep winning. And again, like I said earlier, keep on track. As we look ahead now to Sunday's action, the Packers and the Bears should be another should be another time for Aaron Rodgers to come and collecting rent for the Chicago Bears because he owns them. The Steelers are at the Falcons. The Jets are at the Vikings. Intriguing game here at the Jets, coming off that victory against the Bears. Mike White played very well. We have the Vikings and the third consecutive home game for them, and they need to do what they need to do to keep it continue as well, keep their streak on line, because the other teams are starting to look better than them, and they don't want that, so they really need to do that. The Lions, who are still in this NFC, because the NFC is so bad, they're taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is going to be a very interesting game as well. More or less to see how Trevor Lawrence maintains and comes back over that huge win. And again, of course, again, like I said, the Lions still looking to try to make a run and get into the playoffs if they can. Titans and the Eagles, intriguing here. Eagles, can they keep it continue? They've played okay the last couple of weeks, but they're going against the Titans against their vaulted run game with Derrick Henry. So we'll see what happens with that. Um, and I keep saying these games are intriguing. This is the most intriguing game coming up right here. It's the Cleveland Browns at the Houston Texans, and it's intriguing because Deshaun Watson is coming off suspension. He's playing his first game in over 700 days, and he's playing against his old team, the Houston Texans. Um, Several of the women who have alleged misconduct on Deshaun Watson will be at the game. Um, there will probably be a lot of protests at the game as well, outside of the stadium, inside the stadium. We may even get some knuckleheads running on the field protesting, but we'll have to wait and see. But this is going to be an interesting one, not only because of all of the stuff that's going on and off the field, but obviously he wanted a trade from the Houston Texans, and you know we'll see how the fans feel about that as well. So that might be the most intriguing one of the week. The Commanders at the Giants. Commanders are on a 6-game winning streak, I believe. The Giants again coming off of they're on a little bit of a losing streak. This is a game that the Giants can win, but so can the Commanders. So we'll have to see what happens here. The Broncos and the Ravens are coming here. I think again, what's happening with the Broncos and going on with them here. This should be a get right game for the Ravens. But who knows? They may have a lead that's lost to the Broncos. And if that happens again, we cannot call these Baltimore Ravens a contender. We really can't. The 49ers, the Dolphins, coach versus mentor. This is gonna be something. This is gonna be watched. Both teams are like the same kind of team, except the Dolphins do a little bit more passes as they should with Hill and Waddle and Tua Tagovailoa. But it's gonna be that's gonna be a fun one to watch. Seahawks are at the Rams. Chargers are at the Raiders. Chiefs and the Bengals. That's gonna be a good one too. Rematch of the NFC Championship game. Also a rematch of last year when they met in Cincinnati as well, and Cincinnati won in overtime. Coach of the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football. The Saints at the Buccaneers. The Saints have been able to take down Tom Brady over the last couple of years. I think it's in the regular season. I believe it's 3 out of 4 years. No, 3 out of 4 years. It's either 4 or 5 games. I believe that's what it is. They won. Buccaneers won earlier this year. So we'll see if the Saints can win again, or will is this another win for the Buccaneers? Uh, Very good, intriguing matchups this week for Week 13 in the National Football League. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for this episode of the Game According to Me. As we're starting to head down the stretch, there's gonna be a change in what we do. It's still gonna be the same day, and still how we do it. Although as we start to do it, we'll go over like college football next week. Um, hopefully on Wednesday the 7th, we'll do that. Um, but as we get to that, as we start getting to the other weeks, we'll probably focus less on college football, more on pro football, and we'll try to talk and give you updates on like the NBA standings and things like that. Maybe some NBA leaders, in the stats or anything like that. Um, there will be no shows. There won't be a show on the 28th of December as I'll be out of town. But we'll try to pick back up in the new year, on the 4th. So, but yeah, so as college football comes down and we start heading away from that, there'll be more uh, emphasis on like some basketball and stuff as well. So, all right, guys, thank you guys so much for listening. Again, if you ever feel like you want to support your boy, there's many ways to do it. It's through anchor.fm/Andre Triplet Show, where you go there, 3 tiers, 99 cents, $4.99, or $9.99. There's patreon.com/AJTRIP to become a patron. Once I hit a certain amount of patrons, you will be able to determine what you will hear on my other podcast, The Word According to Me. You will be able to see what videos I do on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@AJTrip20, or even what video games I play on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ATriplet20. I have to have the video game, or you have to buy it for me if you really want me to play it. So, but yeah, those are the things that would happen. That's what you can do to support me monetarily. Or there are other ways to do it. You can also just keep liking and keep rating and keep sharing my podcast to all of your social medias. That is also a way to do it as well. All right, guys. Thank you guys again so much for listening. This is your boy, AJ Trip, signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.